What's up, you guys? Okay, I'm finding, you got my mid, getting ready, picking my face, frizzy hair look. It's fine. Okay, I'm finding the post with all the questions. You guys, it's the last day of the month. This is my favorite day of the month because so much magic happens when you have an urgency to follow up and to get your people started. So, looking for the post, one sec. With all the questions, there's some great questions today, so I'm super stoked. If you guys have questions, you can, hey Addie, you can post them here too, and then I'll roll back around later on and get them. Okay, so first question. Hey Angela. Okay. Cozy asked, how do you help your coaches nail down Success Club when they say they have done all the things? I just need some advice. Okay, this is major, you guys. So first of all, if you're sitting here and you haven't hit Success Club yet, you have to commit to the fact that you're going to hit it, because just drawing that line in the sand and being like, hey, I'm going to make this happen regardless, I'm going to find the people, will then make you back that up with action. So you have to have that mental mindset switch. You can't leave yourself the opportunity not to. Otherwise, it's just too easy to be like, I've done all the things, I'm just going to check out and try again next month. I can promise you, if you can develop that mindset of, I set this goal, I'm going to commit to this goal, and I'm going to do everything it takes today, then like the universe, honestly, it sounds woo-woo, but the universe will have your back and you'll find a way to make it happen. Okay, so my first tangible tips are, one, always do a final call to action, last call type of thing publicly, because if they've done all the things, they never know who is watching, who is ready in this moment, in this time to get started. So do a really solid kind of last call to fill your group. You have maybe one more promo code that they can save $30 off their pack. I would throw out all of your magic tricks. Talk about it in your stories. Share some transformations leading up to it. So I would share some transformations from MM100. I would even share some girls maybe that have some progress from the first couple weeks, and really just build value and credibility around what you're doing that way. And then end it with a solid call to action. You guys, I have one more spot. I have one more spot for a girl that's ready to commit, that's ready to do this with us. I have a promo code especially for you. Reach out to me, the next person gets it type of thing. So really, really solid right hook, call to action in your stories, in your posts. And then I would massively follow up again. So even if they feel like they followed up a couple days ago, I always take the opportunity on the last day of the month or right before I'm filling a group to check in with anyone who's filled out an application form, not yet done their share cart or signed up. Anyone who requested info that maybe didn't do anything after that. And it would simply be, you always want to keep your follow-ups. You know this, Coz, but I'm talking to the masses. You always want to keep your follow-ups focused on them, right? So never coming from a place of, hey, I need to hit this goal and blah, blah, blah. No, don't do that. Hey, I would really love to help you rock this. What? Do you need to go potty? Yeah. Oh shoot, we might have a poop attack. Can you go sit on there and I'll come in? Oh dude. Okay, time out. TV time out. Give me a minute. Hold on. Hurry up. Oh my God. Okay, I have a minute. Okay, following up. So never make it about you, always make it about them. So they shared with you that they have goals. They shared with you that they were interested in what you were doing. That means you're reaching out with their best interest, right? So we have at our favor, we have one, the start week, like the momentum and the energy around starting with everyone is huge. One, you have the promo code if you haven't used all of yours yet. So that's their best interest, right? For them to get started, to save the most that they can save, and to get started in the best time frame. Like right now is the best time for them to get started. Yes, they can start with you anytime and you know that, but it's going to be their benefit to start when everyone else is starting, to have the energy at their back to go through it. So you're reaching out to them, just being like, hey girlfriend, just want to check in with you. Didn't want you to think I forgot about you. I would love to help you rock your goals if you're ready to go. Did you still want to jump in? Are you still thinking about jumping in with us? I have one promo code left that I can send you if you want to get started today. It expires at midnight. Okay. So just like follow-ups are where most of the magic is going to happen on the last day of the month. Okay. Elise, how did you work? How did you work to drop the fear of connecting with random people or your close family and friends thinking you're trying to sell them something? So honestly, I just led with my excitement and how I was feeling in my own journey. So I tried not to think about like what everyone else was going to think about it. All I knew was I was on a journey that was improving my life. I felt really good doing the things I was doing, and I was just committed to sharing that. The people who were ready for something, when I reached out to them, were going to be open about it, and the people who weren't. And that wasn't my job for them to be ready. It was just my job to show up, show them how it was improving my life, and let them know, hey, I have something that can also help you if this is something that you need, right? So I was also afraid of connecting like with my cold market at the beginning. I felt super weird about it. But that's honestly, as soon as I was like, why am I being weird about this? Like social media is to meet new friends. It's to be social. It's to connect with human beings. And everything in the world is like transitioning to online platforms, and everyone is selling something. And we sell hope, health, happiness, financial freedom. Like if you feel bad about selling those things, then you're in the wrong business, right? Because this is what it is. We have a solution for health, hope, happiness, financial freedom, community, friendships, like all. And so you just have to, I think, are you done? Okay, hold on. I think sharing those things first, overcoming the fear, comes from being confident in what this is. So really getting clear on what you're loving about it, what you value about this opportunity. I mean, I know you just started, Elise, but it's like you're probably already feeling benefits from it, and you're already loving certain aspects of it. So that's what you lead with, and that's what you share, and that's what you build your foundation on, right? Okay, hold on. One sec. I'll be back. Oh my God. Okay, I think we're good. Woo! See, wiping butts and building an empire. It's possible. Okay, Brittany, I've been following many people on Instagram daily, but I'm losing track of who I've been connecting with. I'm having a hard time keeping it organized. Is there something you do in addition to collections? So if I were you, so all of your collections are in a row, right? So like if you go through, the important thing with what you guys do daily is that you have a system and a flow that works for you. So you're going to spend your time expanding. You're going to sort into your collections. You're going to spend time connecting in your collections. And then when it's time to invite, you're also going to invite in your collections. So if I were you, I would just spend your certain amount of allotted time in your collections and write down the girl's name that you end on that day. So then the next day, you can start on the next person and connect. And as you get through your whole collection, you would simply just continue working through it, right? So some conversations are going to continue to flow and you're going to continue going deeper with certain people. But lots of times it's just kind of those one touches, like commenting on their posts, messaging them about their story, but it's not going to be an ongoing conversation, and that's fine. Those connections and those things are what warms up the conversation or warms up the relationship enough for you to then a couple weeks later invite them without it being weird. So they know who you are and it's not just some random person. So that's what I would do, is I would just write down the person's name that you end on that day, have an allotted time, and just be very intentional and focused. Like, okay, right now I'm connecting. You bust through. And honestly, like, I love to play games with myself. Like, I love to like set a timer. And if you have 30 minutes to connect, bust through and see how many you can connect with that day. The next day, try and beat it. Like, you'll learn how to get a lot faster at the things that you're doing and more efficient. So, and you'll just get better at it. So make it kind of a game with yourself, and just make sure that you're tracking it that way. Like, finish off a certain place and then the next day start right where you finished off, so that you can make sure that you're getting through everyone over and over and over and over and over and over throughout the month. That's what I would do. Okay, I'm all out of breath. Samantha, I want to know how to instill longevity and consistency when signing up coaches to push for diamond and above, and the value of our products. So that's like every leader's dream, right? I mean, that's the end goal. Whenever I have a coach sign up, I'm like, okay, I want them to be here for the long haul, because that's what's going to change their life. I want them to commit to the products, because those are what's going to change their life. I want them to, you know what I mean? Like, that's what we all want. So I think the things that we can do from the beginning are really helping our coaches commit to their own journey, because that's where all the magic happens. If I have a coach sign up and they're all stoked about the business, but they don't get results, they don't commit to their program, they don't use a nutrition program, they don't use our products, they're never going to be successful in the business, period. Never, ever, ever. So that's the first part of the equation, is falling in love with their own journey, the process of getting results using the solutions we have. And the more confident and the more belief they have in that, one, the more they're going to stick around. They're going to become your lifers, no matter how long it takes them to be successful in the business, because they're so committed to their own process. And that's when they will see success in the business, because they have that belief and they have that confidence to then start sharing this gift with as many people as possible. So it's one thing to commit to their journey. And this is where there's such a huge gap that needs to be closed. I have lots of coaches that will really rock the first part, and they'll like fall in love with their journey. They'll know it works. They're confident, but they never do the essential things to bridge this huge gap between their own personal journey and then knowing how to build the business around helping others rock their own personal journey. And most of it's personal growth. This huge gap right here is mostly personal growth. It's getting over fears. It's getting over lack of self-confidence. It's getting over fear. Most of it's fear. Fear of rejection, fear of putting themselves out there, fear of what other people will think, fear of failure, fear of success, fear of all of these other stupid fears that everyone has, and they're very real to people, that you have to crush ASAP. So when you are battling those limiting beliefs, and this goes right into what Debbie was talking about too, when you're battling those limiting beliefs around any of those things, that is what you 100% have to focus on in your personal development until you crush it. Because the more positivity that we're fueling into our brain, the smaller our fear and that negative chatter gets, the quieter it gets, right? So when you have all of this good stuff, we're essentially reprogramming our brains. And that is why this is so powerful, you guys, because personal growth and consistent, intentional personal growth is literally changing your world. It's changing how you see things. It's changing how you approach different situations in your life. It's changing how you think. It's changing how you speak. It's changing everything. So if you're not being intentional about literally reprogramming your brain, that's the first thing. Because naturally as humans, we're lazy, we're fearful, all of the negative things. That's our natural human instinct. but we all have the capacity within us and the potential and are capable of so much. And it's the people who tap into that reprogramming and really tapping into that potential that will change the world. Because that's what it takes. It takes thinking differently. It takes viewing life differently. And that's why this business, you guys, that's why I'm so passionate about what we do. Because it's our number one job to become our best self. And part of becoming our best self is reprogramming our brain, truly understanding our fears and limiting beliefs and hesitations and all those things so that we can overcome them. So at the beginning, there's a lot of peeling back these layers that are scary because you're like, all of a sudden you're like, wow, I didn't realize I had all of these issues, right? I didn't realize all of this stuff was wrong with me. It's not wrong with you at all. But before, you didn't have the tools and a reason to overcome those things. And that was just your normal. My normal when I started was complacent, negative, scarcity mindset, selfish. That was who I was at the beginning. And I had to do a lot of growth and a lot of overcoming and a lot of reprogramming over the past 6 years to overcome those things so that I could get to where I am now, to think the way I think now, to see things the way I see now, right? But it's because I committed to the daily stuff that I was able to get through all of the negative crap while I was still in the negative crap, because I was still having success with the scarcity mindset, with the negative thoughts, with that selfish mentality. I was still making the IPAs and the essential activities a consistent thing that I was doing. So I was still seeing some success, but my big time growth in the business didn't happen until I changed my mindset, until things started to shift from an internal perspective, right? From internally and not externally. So that's what I would say is, I don't even remember whose question I was answering, but personal growth, you guys, I can't say enough about it. I can't. Like, if you ever have anything negative creep in, that's when you go, okay, write it down, because that's what you have to be intentional about overcoming. And there's personal growth books and audios for literally everything, podcasts. And if you get super intentional with attacking the things that are holding you back, you will smash those, you will overcome them, and you will be able to get over your next roadblock, because you don't just have one roadblock. We have multiple walls built up that we have to crush through in order to get where we want to go, in order to become the person we want to be. Okay. Steph, recreating your list of people to invite when you basically start over. So that's a great question, because I've actually had quite a few of you that are kind of reigniting your excitement and kind of starting from square one, but not really starting from square one because you have done this before. So my biggest advice would be, one, go through the training again, because so much has evolved since a lot of you were doing things before. And if you try to approach this business the way that you were doing things a couple years ago, things have changed so much and evolved so much that you'll totally be like, what the crap? This is not working, because you have to get with the times, right? So that would be my first advice, is go through the training, get up with the times and how things are, and really focus on always evolving as people. As we do this, that's the exciting part, is essentially the how we do this is always evolving. It doesn't look the same as it did years ago. And that's why it's fun, because we do the same things, but we do them in different ways. So it never gets boring. So that's my first tip, is go through the training, kind of get up with the times. And my second thing is simply understanding that the whole funnel. So if you don't have people to invite, that means your number one focus needs to be expanding and connecting. So if you have 1 hour, if you have 2 hours to devote to your business, that means you're expanding for about 30 minutes and you're connecting for about 60 minutes and you're inviting for like 10, right? So I think a lot of people have it backwards, where they're like, oh, I need to invite all these people. No, if you're running out of people to invite, you need to be expanding in a big way. You need to be connecting in a huge way. And then that funnels down into who you can invite. And then it funnels down even further into who you can follow up with, right? So that's what I would say. If you're starting from scratch again, but you've already gone through your warm market and people who who know, love, and trust you, and you're not just reaching out to family and friends right off the bat, then massively expand and connect. Make that your number one priority so that in a couple weeks, you have a solid pool of girls to invite. And you'll never run out of people to invite as long as you're being consistent with the expanding and the connecting. But those of you that are new, obviously it's going to take some time to expand and connect. It's a process. So you absolutely have to turn to the people who you already know, love, and trust. Your siblings, your parents, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, your best friends, your coworkers, your ward members that you're friends with. Like, you turn to the people who you already know well, and it's simply, hey, I just started this journey. I'm super fired up about it, and I want a couple people to do it with me so that we can hold each other accountable. Is this something you want to do? Do you have some health goals or whatever that you'd want to work on with me? It's like calling your best friend and being super stoked about getting a concert ticket or something and being like, hey, I want you to come do this with me. I want you to come to the concert with me. It's going to be sick. Same thing. You're super fired up about this and you're simply saying, hey, I want you to do this with me. Let's do this together. Okay, that's what I did right off the bat. I signed my husband up because I'm like, you're going to be stealing my shakes. I need you to sign up so that I can be halfway to Emerald, because I heard that's the first goal I want to hit. And so halfway there is a no-brainer. So I signed him up right away. I talked to my sister-in-law right away and was like, hey, I know you want to lose some weight. I would love for you to do this with me. Of course, she gave me kickback and didn't want to do it. And I was like, no, I promise, please just do it with me. And she finally did. And then I talked to my mom and I'm like, Mom, these shakes are awesome. They're totally helping me feel better. I think you would really love them. Do you want to try them for a month and see how you feel? So she got started. So those was my first 3, Wham Bam, Success Club, Emerald, within like a couple days. So don't overcomplicate the beginning. Reach out to the people who you want to just be on the journey with you, and you know that they would value and appreciate something awesome like Shakeology or BOD or whatever. Like, get them started with what you're doing. Okay. Debbie, so I kind of talked about this. Limiting fears, fear of failure, fear of drawing the line in the sand and going all in and missing the mark. Okay, let's talk about that one specifically, okay? Fear of drawing a line in the sand, going all in, and missing the mark. Okay, what mark are you giving yourself? That's the first thing, because I think that's where everyone misses the boat, is you give yourself a time frame, or you give yourself a deadline, or if I'm not here by this time, then I'm done. Okay, that is the worst thing you can do, because when you have an ultimatum, you know that there is a plan B. Your plan B is to stop doing this at some point if you're not at a certain point. So you're naturally just going to let yourself off the hook because that's easier. It's less scary, and you already kind of are talking yourself out of it. So my biggest advice for all of you, and I heard this at Summit and I loved it, was stop flirting with quitting. Stop letting it dangle in the back of your brain. Like, I might quit if this doesn't, I'll give it this amount of time. If you let that dangle, you're screwed. And you will end up quitting. You'll end up giving up. You won't end up hitting your goals. If you have that dangling, I can almost promise you, okay? So the best thing that you can do is go, no matter what, I'm doing this for the rest of my life, because it makes me make better choices. It helps me be a better human. I love whatever, A, B, and C. You make this list for yourself. I love the community, the friendships, the way that it helps me actually show up for myself, the way that it makes me work out because otherwise I wouldn't, the way that it gives me an opportunity to make an impact and be fulfilled and live a life that fills me with joy, whatever it is. You make that list of the things why you're gonna do this no matter what. And then if you know that you're gonna do this no matter what, then you might as well make it worth your time, because there's no point in committing to this, making it a part of your life, and then not actually letting it bless your life the way it will. So all I know, you guys, is fast success. I've never done the dabble. I've never done the toe dip. I've never done the half in, half out. But when I see coaches who do that, I'm like, I don't know how you're still here. Really. I wouldn't have been able to do that. I wouldn't have been able to kind of do it, sort of do it, feel frustrated all of the time because I'm not getting out of it what I actually wanted to get out of it, and then still kind of sort of do it and still feel frustrated. Like that to me seems miserable. That would be terrible. So I don't know what slow success feels like because that's not how I would want to do it. I am the personality and I would much rather go, I know I'm going to do this for forever because it makes me feel good. So I'm going to actually do it. Now, let me figure out what I actually need to do to be as successful as I can be. And I cut out all of the other crap and I only did the most important things. And that is why I preach my flow and the Success Club system tracker and those simple things that are absolutely essential to be successful. Not some of the things, but all of the things at least 5 to 6 days a week. Not a couple days a week, not here and there. All of the things 5 and 6 days a week, you will be successful. I have not ever had a coach that said, I am doing all of the things every single day, 5 to 6 days a week. I'm growing, I'm doing my personal growth, and I'm overcoming fears and limiting beliefs. I'm getting results on my journey. I'm sharing it. I'm adding value, and I'm not having any success. I have never once had a coach tell me that. I have had coaches say I'm not having as much success as I would want. It's taking longer than I thought. And that's a whole different ballgame, right? Because we all are starting at different places with different networks, with different people, with different amounts of influence. There's so many variables in success. And what I want you guys to commit to coming off of this call is if this is important to you, if creating a life that you love is important to you, then you need to commit to the actual things that it takes to be successful with this. And success in this business means making an impact. Success in the business, okay, I'll talk to her after I'm done, okay? I'm almost done. Success in the business means selling solutions for health, happiness, hope, and financial freedom. That's what success is. Because when you are truly helping someone, you're getting a solution in their hands, you're supporting them, you're encouraging them, you're helping them show up and commit to their own results. And then at some point, hopefully, you're also helping them do this with you because this is where lives change, not in your challenge group, right? So I hope that you guys can just commit to that, because if you can commit to just drawing the line in the sand and doing the things forever, then you'll stop giving yourself the way out and the plan B and letting yourself off the hook. And success is so much easier when you're just consistent. It's really hard when you're doing the up and down, in and out, half this, half that, starting, stopping. Like that to me sounds terrible. I don't know how some of you guys do it, honestly. Okay. Addie said, best advice to get women to just pull the trigger. So I kind of talked about this. I always use an urgency. So right now, you guys all have promo codes that expire tonight, right? Actually, I think new coaches might have them for the first month. I can't remember, but all of the active coaches that got 3 promo codes, those expired tonight. That's a really good reason for you to reach out to every single one of your girls and be like, hey girl, we've got like a few hours to get you rolling so you can still take advantage of this promo code. I didn't want you to miss it. I would totally love for you to do this with me. That gives you reason enough to reach out to every single person. As far as like close family members and whatever, I just was very honest and open and real about it. Like, hey, let's do this together. I'm going to do this forever. You might as well do it with me. Let's do it. So just having a real talk with them. But like Addie, I would reach out to your mom. I would reach out to your sister-in-law, like the girls that you listed on your new coach form. I would absolutely reach out to them and be like, we already started. I don't want you to like get far behind. Let's do it together and we can like get caught up and do this. So that's what I would do if I were you. Amy, I reached out to someone who's already into fitness and asked them if they might want to become a coach. She knows nothing about Beachbody, but did say, sure, what's this about? Can you give me advice on the first convo to have with her? I want to give you her good info, just not overwhelm her. So my go-to is always my info page, 100% of the time. So if I'm ever talking with anyone, I'm like, sweet, let's get you plugged in. I have an info page here on Instagram. It's super simple. Start at the bottom, work your way through, and then we'll chat. So if you haven't set that up, that needs to be done, because that is the easiest way to share all about coaching, how you want to share about it, and have a one-stop shop where you can plug someone in at any point, because it's way harder to explain it in a message than it is to just have everything in one place. You could always do the PDF, the TI Tribe info PDF that we have. That also has like our sneak peek videos and information written out. So that could be a solid resource that you use. But I don't like to do it in a conversation because there's way too much for people to understand and to get that across in one message. Okay, Lynn, did you ever create alarms to remind you to post on your social media platforms when you started off on your coaching journey? If so, how often? I didn't, but I did. I was using 21 Social for a little while, and they would do like boosts, like at a certain times of the day. So I would set a reminder 30 minutes before that would happen so that I would know to post before, because that's what they told you to do. And so if you're a new coach that struggles with remembering to post or whatever, I would absolutely do that. That's a very great idea. So setting one in the morning, like I would do it right around, if you work out in the morning, I would do an alarm right around 7 a.m. and be like, get your morning post up and make sure that you post about your workout or personal growth or something along the lines of your journey. Every single morning, I would say not every single morning, 98.9% of mornings, I share something from my workout. Then at some point throughout the day, I try to at least get one other thing in, whether that's about my team, whether that's a valuable tip for moms, whether it's something entertaining, something we're doing that day, whatever. Then it doesn't really matter. Just at some point I'm getting something else up. I try to, but it doesn't always happen. But at least I know if I get my morning post up, then I have something solid. So if you're having a hard time being consistent with your posts, I would absolutely do that. That's a great idea. Okay. How would you word your personal invite about jumping in before promo codes expire? Just like I said, I would say something like, hey girlfriend, just wanted to check back in one more time. I have one $10 off promo code left and it expires tonight. Is this still something you want to do? Do you still want to jump in? Something like that. Don't overcomplicate it. Okay, now I'm scrolling through these ones. Fear is so stupid. Face punch. It really is. It's so dumb and it will hold you back from everything in life.
Why do you need this?
I think Johnny put that on.
Why do you need
I'm open to suggestions for PD around fear. So there's so many, you guys. There's I think there's one called, is it Start How to Punch Your Fears in the Face or something? That's a good one. Honestly, the How to Get Over Your Damn Self is so good. So good. She has a whole chapter and it's called F Fear. So don't listen to that chapter when you're around your kids, but whole chapter around it. And it's so good. Hey, bro, you're killing me. Honestly, most PD books talk about fear in some capacity because that's such a huge one for everyone. Hey, Lee, for anyone looking for PD, a couple of podcast episodes that have helped me immensely with fear. And self-doubt were the Life Coach School podcast, 22 and 199. I love Brooke. You guys, shh. If you're going to be in here, you got to be quiet. Honestly, you guys, I would go through Brooke Castillo's podcasts from the beginning and work your way all the way through because they are so good. And by the time, stop. By the time you're done, your brain will be reprogrammed. You will be a different human being by the time you're done with her entire list of hundreds of podcasts. So that would be something I would do every single day. Janae, that's what I did after I had quit multiple times and then kept wishing I was at summit events, fitter, community, you name it. I'm going to beat him. So I prayed and said, okay, if I'm going to do this, I will never quit unless it's written in the clouds. It's only changed my mentality about the biz. It's totally changed my mentality about the biz and has given me a huge drive to always push forward. It's true, you guys. Like, we're all gonna fail. We're all gonna hit roadblocks. We're all gonna have ebbs and flows. We're all gonna have times when you're like, I'm really sucking at this right now. But that never ever changes my belief in what this is and what it is doing for my life. Like, never changes. Stop. Okay, so you just gotta like leave that off the table. Okay, is there anything else? Did you struggle with focusing on your PD on audio? If so, how would you get over that? I zone in for like 10 minutes and then zone out. So yeah, my biggest advice, but I'll literally be done in 30 seconds. Stop talking.
I want that.
Here. My biggest advice for that is and this goes for audio and reading. Whenever I'm doing PD, I am always looking for a one-liner. I'm always looking for something that I can share or something that I need to pass on to one of my coaches or something that I'm specifically struggling with personally. So I always enter personal development with either a problem or with a struggle, whether that's mine or whether that's one of my coaches or whether it's something that my audience, hold on. Go. Oh my gosh, I just threw him out. Okay, whether that's something my audience needs, I focus on like one specific thing, and then I'm looking for a one-liner or a message that I can clip and record and share in my stories. So when I do that, it helps me really zone in and listen with like way more focus than if I just like have it on plain. Does that make sense? So I always recommend that. I always look for a snippet to share in my stories, or that one of my coaches needs that I can pass along, or that I need guidance on personally. Okay, Rebecca said she had a question above. I don't know where it's at. Hold on, I'm scrolling. Maybe repost it. Oh wait, I have it. Ideas to leverage my discount coaches who are starting their journey and have so much excitement so far. Oh, I can't. It's not letting me click. Okay, I thought of getting them on a call next week and do a what is coaching info thing. Becca, I wouldn't really like stress about it. I would just really let them rock the crap out of their journey and then simply reach out personally and be like, dude, you're killing it. Why are you not actually coaching with me? And have that conversation. And then they'll be like, well, insert all the doubts, fears, limiting beliefs. And then you can help them overcome that. And you can be like, you're already doing the hardest part. Now we just need to like get you inspiring others and sharing your journey. So I always just approach it with a personal combo. I wish I had like a more complicated answer, but it's really not. I would just really keep it basic. And then when they're like, okay, tell me what I actually would have to do. Insert info page. Like that's the answer to everything when it comes to recruiting for me right now. Okay, anything else? See, Debbie? Debbie's like, that's how you got me started. That's how I got so many of you started. Like literally. And that's why I invite to my challenge group probably 80% of the time, invite to coaching like 20% of the time, because I am so, I would much rather someone come in, rock their journey, fall in love with the entire process and how they're feeling, and then talk to them about coaching. 100%, if you're interested in the business, I'm like, yeah, game on, let's do this both at the same time. But it's just such an easy process to get challengers started, get them results, have that conversation, and empower them to coach. That's such a simple process. So I know lots of you guys are like, I suck at recruiting, blah, blah, blah. I can only get challengers. Sweet. That's the biggest part of the equation. Only get challengers, get them results, get them falling in love with the journey, empower them to do it with you. Like you just have to be intentional about the process, intentional about empowering them to do it with you, and really planting those seeds of belief and helping them see what it is, right? Okay. Alarm me too. All right, guys, that's it. What a rough Q&A. Poop. All sorts of stuff. But I think we made it. Antoinette, that's where my builders have come from. It's taken time, but it's happening. Absolutely. And it does take some time, and that takes a little bit more time because they have to kind of go through this growth process. And that's why it is so important that we are absolutely sharing snippets of coaching, sharing what it looks like in our stories, talking about it in our posts, because lots of times, you guys, the people who will reach out about a coaching post are challengers. The people who reach out about your next info group are challengers. So we're essentially helping them see what it is, but then also helping everyone else that might be interested in exactly what we have with the business. So you're killing two birds with one stone. So make sure that you're always also being intentional about sharing what you're doing as a coach, sharing how it's blessing your life, sharing what you're loving about it, sharing who you're looking for and who you want to build a tribe with, and that sort of thing. Colleen, I'm working from home today, so I'm able to sit in. Woohoo! Oh man, I had another question. Hurry, Samantha, hurry. I'll bust it out super quick now that it's quiet and I can think straight. What's a realistic timeline for Diamond, 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, so on? So honestly, you guys, Diamond realistic goal should be within 60 to 90 days. That's very realistic starting from scratch. Now, Samantha, I know you've coached before in the past and you have this waiting period. If I were you, I would be like, okay, I'm signing up and I'm hitting Diamond that week, because you have still a couple months to, guys, I'm sweating. I have the passion sweats. You have a couple months still to be sharing your journey, adding value, getting all of your girls that you already know are going to sign up through the training so that they can go Emerald. And even some could go Diamond right away, like if they're as serious about it as you. So I would be like Diamond within a week for you, 2 star within 60 days, because you can help your coaches go Diamond within 60 days. 5 star within like 4 months, 5 months. So like you have kind of a fast track because you have a jump start. From someone brand new though, Diamond within 60 to 90 days should be so doable for anyone. And if it's not doable, or if you haven't done it and you're like, well, that's not doable. No, it still is doable for anyone else. It's just you need to actually commit to the things it takes to do it. So if you sign up and get started right away, like any of my new coaches that just got started, I would be Emerald within 2 weeks, tops. 2 weeks, should not take you longer than that. Diamond within 60 to 90 days. And if you have those kind of goals ahead of you, it's going to help you be intentional about making sure you're doing the things it takes to do that, right? So yeah, that's why Success Club is non-negotiable. Like you need to be helping new people every single month. You can't rely on the same people to get you to your future goals because people drop off. It's very natural. So we constantly need to be helping new people, and enough to stay ahead of the people falling off, right? So we can't just help the bare minimum and then expect for our businesses to really blow up. So it just depends on your goals, but that's what I would say for that. Okay, I am out of here. You guys are awesome. It's the last day of the month. Like, prove to yourself why you're here and what you're capable of. Don't leave any stones left unturned and get all your promo codes used up, okay? So I want to hear it underneath the graphic that I posted today with the Success Club board. I want to hear every single time you change a new life today, and I want to see that board blowing up, because with follow-ups and with new invites and with posts and with doing all the things that you can do this last day of the month, you should be able to help some more people before midnight Eastern Standard Time. All right, so let's get to work, okay? Talk to you guys later. Bye.